We are back in 1983, continuing our look at the Masters of the Universe toy line by Mattel. Last time we checked out the heroic human battering ram, Ram-Man, the dim-witted but well-meaning ally of He-Man. This time it's back to the evil henchman of Skeletor, as we take a look at his three-eyed spy who sees everything, Tri-klops, here on Creed's Collection. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Creed's Collection. Today we're taking a look at Tri-klops from the 1983 Masters of the Universe toy line by Mattel. Tri-klops' first appearance was in the mini-comic The Terror of Tri-klops, which shows him as a near-physical match for He-Man. A minion of Skeletor, Tri-klops is presented as a skilled swordsman, hunter, and spy who can see in all directions at once. Each eye was also given its own unique ability. One has Distavision for seeing great distances, one has night vision so he can see in the dark, and his third eye changes depending on the story, varying between X-ray vision or the ability to see around corners. In the cartoon series, Tri-klops' first appearance was in the pilot episode, Diamond Ray of Disappearance. And while it was hinted that he may be a match for He-Man, it's never built upon, and he is quickly treated as just another bumbling minion of Skeletor. And now that we know a bit more about Tri-klops, let's take a closer look. So the single most unique thing about Tri-klops is of course his head sculpt and his eye gimmick. Essentially, it is a plastic ring with the eyes molded on it and painted, and then it's attached to his head and easily rotated, as you can see. It reminds me a lot of Man-E-Faces, as they both have a gimmick where a part of their head rotates and it changes how they look. Like all the Wave 1 and 2 Masters figures, Tri-klops has his own unique armor, and I think the orange and green is a really nice contrast. Also, the shape of his shoulders and head give him a very unique silhouette. You may have noticed that the legs and lower body of Tri-klops are the same as He-Man, but his arms and chest are also the same as He-Man, and we'll talk more about that here in a minute. On the back right shoulder of the armor is a small place where you can actually sheath the sword of Tri-klops, and you can see his hair sticking out of the back of the helmet too, which it's black here for the toy, but it was red for the cartoon. The armor is removable, and there are two clasps you'd have to undo here on either side of Tri-klops. Here's the loop I mentioned. The sword slides right in, and it actually looks pretty cool stored there. I love it when there's a place to store the weapons and accessories right on the figure, so this feature is awesome. And while we're talking about it, let's go ahead and check out the sword of Tri-klops. It's pretty cool, it's unique to him, and it does have his eye right there on the hilt, which is awesome. It's got a hand guard and a little bit of paint application with the black there on the handle. It's almost exactly the same on both sides, but there are these weird holes in the blade. And if you get close, you can see that it says it was made in the USA, which surprised me. And of course, it fits in Tri-klops' hand no problem, and I think he looks really cool wielding it. Now we're going to check out Tri-klops' articulation. He's got the typical Masters of the Universe legs with a rubber band inside. They don't really do much. He's got the spring-loaded waist, so he can do a power punch, which we'll check out in a minute. His arms can rotate up and then back down again, of course. His head can actually turn left and right. And he also has, of course, the rotating eyepiece, giving Tri-klops 7 total points of articulation. And now we'll test out the power punch on Man-E-Faces. This is payback for last time. Oh, don't hold a grudge or anything. Tri-klops' copyright information is actually located on his head. Mattel Incorporated, 1982. And now for our He-Man size comparison. As you can see, Tri-klops and He-Man are virtually the same figure, sharing many parts. They just have different heads, armor, and paint application. As I said earlier, in the original mini-comic, he was meant to be a near physical equal to He-Man, so I guess it makes sense he'd have the same body. It just occurred to me that this is the last He-Man size comparison of the year. Well, you ready for the new year, Tri-klops?
Oh yeah, but I did enjoy having 20/20 vision all year.
Yeah? Well, I'm really looking forward to the new year.
I hear ya. I'm seeing good things on the horizon.
Well, I hope you're right, Tri-klops. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Creed.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my toy retrospective for Tri-klops from the 1983 Masters of the Universe toy line by Mattel. And with that, another year of the show is complete. It's hard to believe I've been doing this for over 2 years now. It sure doesn't seem like it. So I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for your support, and I hope you have a safe and happy new year. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts, please leave a comment. I love reading and responding to them. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. It would help my channel grow. I do a retrospective on a toy from my vintage collection every Wednesday. So I hope to see you next week and every week after, here on KREED'S Collection.